Hello and welcome to Christmas Let's Build number 2. So you've seen David's Let's Build of his Christmas Wonderland, well, his Christmas factory, should I say, where Santa builds all his shit, all his slave, well, I don't know, I think David has elf workers. I don't go for elf workers. I got something a little different. So what I'm doing here is I'm just sort of building up the tree, but this ends up messy, and I delete all this and make it a proper tree. It looks really good when it's done. So for some reason I'm not using a circles picture because I'm an idiot. So it ends up looking a bit triangular. So as you see me messing around with this, I'll explain that this map is going to be a PvP map, and we're going to invite you guys on Steam to play, and you can, like, I don't know, post why you want to play if there's too many people. Oh, here we go. So you can see me building up the tree now and the circles layers. It took me a long time to map that out and everything, but it ended up pretty good. So basically, we're going to have this map where there's two sides. So there's my side, which I'm building up here, and David's side, which is already built, which you would have seen yesterday. And if not, then click the link to see it. And it's quite good. So basically, we're going to have two teams fighting it out. I'm not sure what the PvP objective is going to be yet. Maybe someone can suggest that in the video. And we can have 16 players, I think. So me and David as the two Santas. I'm not wearing a Santa suit. I should have been, but I forgot. And David was wearing a Santa suit, but I'm going to be wearing like a hulky Santa suit. And we're going to fight it out for an objective of some kind. So this is what the purpose of the map is. And also because it's Christmassy and festive. And hopefully it'll get you in the mood for Christmas. With all our Christmas videos we're going to do, and this is just the first two. We've got tons lined up, so I hope you're excited. So here I'm just sort of measuring out the circles of my base. Or not of my base, of the tree, and it layers up, so it's like a proper pine Christmas tree going up directly. It took quite a while to sort of work this out, but I think it turned out really well. So basically I've just used the circles picture, which you can find on Google, and gradually layered it in so each circle is one smaller. So I'm just filling that in right now, like so. And obviously my tree is going to be about 1 billion times better than David's absolute mess for a tree. It made me laugh when he did that. But David's not as good at like building stuff as I am, so not everyone could be good at it. So you can sort of see his off in the background with the maximum render distance. So all that middle area is going to be filled with like path and stuff for the PvP to take place. I'm just increasing the height of the tree still, so it actually comes to like a peaked top. Luckily leaves don't decay when they're attached to wood, otherwise that'd be a massive pain in the arse. Because all my work would just sort of delete itself as I went along. And there's the tree finish, which I add lights to a little bit later on. So with my lovely tree that's pretty big, I start work on the workshop, and I actually use Tekkit stuff in my workshop so that it actually looks like a workshop, so that stuff is actually happening rather than just, well, I don't even think David had a workshop really. He just sort of had places for them to go. So I'm making it out of wood, I believe. I think I changed the style a few times. I'm just sort of making multiple entrances, and this building has stone brick floor, nether brick roof, and some nether brick internals as well, and sort of wooden outside, because I want them to look like sort of log cabins, because that's, like, I don't know, you seem to find them a lot in cold countries, log cabins, and they just sort of remind you of the snow. Also, we're using the, if you didn't realise already, we're using the Sfax BD Christmas craft. For some reason some of the blocks don't work, like they don't have a texture, but that doesn't matter because the blocks I needed did, so. I just couldn't decide what I wanted it to look like, and then I eventually settled with logs for the front. And doors in there, and use some redstone lamp side, so this building's red. Because our workforce isn't going to be elves. This is Minecraft, and elves are a bit boring. So I never actually recorded the workforce going to be, but basically there's going to be zombies, and you'll see where I'm going to put them later once I get to building it. So I'm just sort of building the main structure for it first, making everything symmetrical, because everything's so much better when it's symmetrical. And laying some steps out to the back of the house so they can look at all the workshops they can look out and have a fag break or whatever. Although my workforce are slaves, so they probably won't be having any fag breaks, they'll just be slaving away. I think I'm just here, yeah, getting the corner pieces for the nether brick. And covering up the panelling for this. which was kind of a pain to do, but I managed to work out to do it. Like so. Now, here we have set up a quarry outside, and it's pumping in a ton of materials, which is going to be turned into delicious presents. So, here I've got transposers, and what transposers do is they fire blocks out and suck blocks in. So it's kind of like an obsidian pipe in a way, except it fires it out at the same time, or it can, yeah, so what I'm trying to do here is work out how I can make it so it's like a production line, so that the materials are being chucked down the production line, and hard slave workers are sifting through it, finding out what's good, what's rubbish, building up toys, stuff like that. So it actually looks like a production line. So I've got these 2 lines here, and I had to use a timer to make them pulse, so as you can see it's doing there. And then I had to pipe stuff into the transposer, so you see it's throwing it out there. I was just giving it a test, but I realised it didn't really fit, and some of the stuff wasn't coming through. So I had to dig out all underneath it and pipe out from beneath, because apparently levers have an effect on the transposers, so that it blocks the pulse or something. So I did that, got rid of all this piping. I think that's pneumatic piping, so the stuff's going to be sucked into those transposers, sucked into the transposers on the factory line, pumped across, and pumped into where the presents can be. So you can see it's throwing out all the stuff there, which is perfect, exactly what I wanted. And I needed some more timers for here, like so. And now we go into the first system to show how it works. So we've got these chests. It's all the redstone engines are pumping out the stuff from the quarry into the transposers, which are getting sucked up onto the production line. Then the timer is sending a pulse to click, and you'll be able to see in a second. So they're pulsing like that, and the covers, you can see it all getting sucked in. And then it's being chucked across the factory line, and these little block areas where the holes are is where zombies are going to be, because zombies have Christmas hats, but I forgot to turn the server off peaceful, so I couldn't put them down. And then these are being sucked into condensers, which are creating presents. And these presents are going into this chest, which can be sent into the back of Santa's sleigh. So there we go. That's how that works. So it's nice and Tekkity. Now we go back to the tree and make it light up. Now, I was going to use a timer to make the lights flash. The problem is, I don't know how to make a delayed time, so actually the pulse stays. So the pulse only lasts about 1/10 of a second. So it looks really raggedy, and it's really harsh in the eyes because it's flashing so fast. And I'm not sure how to make like a constant pulse and then a gap, then a pulse and a gap, if that makes sense. So I decided to go for solid lights for the sake of everybody's eyes watching this video, because 1/10 of a second sped up 12 times is going to just be like, it's going to be going ridiculously blinky. So what I'm doing is I'm just punching holes in the leaves, putting down coloured lamps and putting levers on the back of them, and lighting it all up. And it looks really nice at night, I think. The only thing that's missing from the tree is a star, which I need to add at some point. But I don't think it looks too bad overall. I tried to make the blocks sort of random colours so that they weren't all next to each other, although I managed to get 2 pink ones there together on the left, which you can kind of see. But it doesn't matter. So all the way around, getting more and more lights. It got a bit awkward in the top because there wasn't a lot of space to work, but it didn't end up too badly. And again, my tree just looks 1,000 times better than David's. Oh. He's going to hate me for this, but it doesn't matter. Lovely lamps. Oh, the lamps do look good in the Christmas craft, I have to say. So now we're going to put a roof on our working factory, pumping out all the presents, which Santa can collect into the back of his sleigh, which we put down. I think we do the sleigh last, because it's the most important thing, so I did it last. Well, obviously the tree's pretty important too. Here, it took me quite a while to figure out how I wanted the roof to go, so here I'm messing around with redstone blocks, because this area needs to be lit up as well. Nether brick, I go for nether brick roof, but it takes me a while to decide the style. So in the end I decided to remove the lamps on the inside and sort of put them in the roof, which I think I do now. There we go, so I'm going to put them in the roof. But I put the wiring on the wrong side at first, so I put it on the underneath instead of on the outside, which I end up removing because it means I can't place blocks down. It looks a bit weird. I didn't want the redstone wires showing, preferably. So I end up bashing out all the cables and then wiring on the inner side, which I can actually cover up then and no one can see. Like so. so I can put panelling down on the underside of that to cover it up. So I'm having steps for the roof, and rather than having the roof go right to a peak, I decided to have a flattened off roof. I try and make a peak in the middle, and I don't think it looks right, so I decided to get rid of it and just go for a flat peak. Like so. So a flat roof. Now we've got to build Santa's house, where Santa and Mrs. Claus can live, and oversee the workshops. It's got to be nearby. So again, I make another log cabin-y type building to the complex. Get rid of all that dirt, and I do this building a bit differently to how I normally do it. I sort of laid out where the rooms are going to be before I did anything else, because that way I knew exactly what I was building and what areas. And the insides of the rooms end up looking pretty good once I've like filled them out of all the miniature blocks. So I'm building the stairs to the upper level to see how high I want it to go. Filling out the walls of the main corridor. And I'm just using standard wooden blocks for this. I put some orange lights. And the roof and the levels on this building, it took me a long while to figure out to do it, and eventually I completely changed my mind. So near the end you'll see it's completely different to how I actually make it. But, you know, I wanted it to look as good as possible. So that's the front done. Now we're looking at the inside. So I'm placing stone here because this is going to be the kitchen. And obviously a lot of kitchens have stone floors, it's just easier to clean and stuff like that. So, stone floor kitchen, lots of windows, lots of light in their house. They want a really nice log cabin. And I'm deciding what layer colour to put the upper floor. So I use the same colour in the end, but I do it a bit differently. So I'm just laying out the rooms, filling in this floor with lovely red wall, a nice red carpet, and I tried building up the fireplace, which is a lot harder than I thought it'd be. I end up messing up a few times and breaking some blocks wrong, but I think it ends up looking pretty good. Although for some reason the nether brick won't light. I mean the nether rack wouldn't light, so... Although it's probably for the best because I'm probably going to set something on fire. So we have torches in the room instead. And I'm sort of layering it off, trying to make like a nice mantelpiece to it. Building it up. Layering out the sides of the smaller bricks. And then putting a front to it so I've got a nice mantelpiece. And I think it looks pretty nice like that. But I realised it wasn't in the centre of the room, so I had to adjust the hallway so that it's centred in the room. Because otherwise it'd look... Stuff that's not centred just looks awful. So I did that. And built the roof around it. Put some more windows in. And layered off the top. So now we're going onto the second floor. And I used quite a lot of panelling and stuff on the second floor. So we were going to put the wood over as the floor. But I didn't want this upper floor to have a wooden base. So what I decided to do was, you'll see in a minute, I panel over it in wooden panels. But first I think I build the wall a bit. Yeah, I built the back wall. And the walls around the side, so it's dropped one layer in from the layer below, but I didn't like that in the end, and I get rid of it and make it all the same like level. So here I'm just paneling over the floor with wooden planks or wooden plank paneling, or I think it's for covers actually. And I try and make some stairs or some banisters. But the interface for making this was a nightmare, and then I realised that when you try and walk up and down the stairs. You can't because the blocks sort of block you a bit and it's really annoying, so I got rid of them. I decided I mean, they're sensible enough, they're adults, they're not going to fall down the stairs. So I left the staircase like that. I built the layer up again. And I made it thinner there so there was actually space to get through, so I used panelling. And then just making some windows and laying out. So this is basically going to be like the master upstairs room for Mr. and Mrs. Claus. It's going to be like a massively long attic-y bedroom kind of thing. That's what I was going for with the style. So lay that out. Panels are just so useful in this, like in so many ways, for making cool, just making little details that you can't normally do in vanilla Minecraft, which is one of the reasons I like Tekkit quite a lot. And when we go back to my city building, it'll make a big difference having those panels. I'm going to use them a hell of a lot for interiors, which you'll see later in this build. Like some of the just the basic things I did with the panels, so just make it look so much better. So here I'm just trying to break up the front of the house, and I don't really like the fact that it's sort of slanted inwards. I don't know, it doesn't look aesthetically right to me. So at the end of the video I get rid of that and change it. But I'm putting flower pots and stuff in here at the front. I'm messing around seeing if I can make it look better, but I decided it doesn't. I don't want it to be different, like height each layer, so I leave it like that for now, I think. Oh wait, no, sorry. The roof's tiered in, and I decided to it doesn't look right tiered in, so I want it like slanted. It doesn't really matter anyway, because I end up just deleting it all. In a sort of a fit of rage as it didn't work. And now here's Rory's Christmas song coming on, yay. I hope you guys enjoy the song. I paid him a £4 Candy King for this song to make for me. If you're not from the UK, or you might know if you are from the UK, Candy King's like something you can buy from a shop called Tesco's, or the Co-op or Sainsbury's, and it's like a big bag of sweets. So there's a house in the background which we'll tear down later. And now we're building the sleigh hut after I've cleared away some dirt and sort of sorted out the front of the factory there. So I'm laying out the foundations with nether brick. I just like the colour of nether brick. It's kind of Christmassy because Christmas is red, or red's one of the colours of Christmas, I think. Red, green and gold, in my opinion, are the main colours. And it's just got a nice texture to it in this texture pack, so I used that. Wooden planks for the sleigh house. This is where the sleigh is stored all year round and gets its one trip out a year. So I put some lighting down, and here I built the rails for the sleigh out of basalt strips, so it actually looks like a sleigh, whereas David just didn't. And then I'm making a lovely seat for Santa to sit on at the front, using different blocks. So I'm using some wooden blocks, and I put some other stuff there. So we're making it all built up around the back so that all the presents can fit in and not fall out as they're flying along. Put some red tail lights in so people can see him, and a lovely chair for him at the front with armrests. Then I begin to fill the sleigh with all different presents and lots of different woolen blocks and stuff. So it looks like a nice filled up Santa sleigh with lots of presents for children. There we go, you can see the sleigh before I put the roof on. And we're just finishing paneling over the roof with steps, and I flatten off, and I use basalt brick in here to break it up a bit, to change it, because I didn't want the same blocks every time. And I think it looks quite good. So here we go, flying over David's base, to sort of compare the two bases. So this is David's base here, flying over towards mine with my lovely Christmas tree in the distance. Oh, and I think firstly we go and swoop down into the inside of the glowing tree. It looks so cool from the inside, I think, when you look up at all the layers of the branches. It's got a nice effect, just so symmetrical. So that's the tree, the lovely tree. Down here we've got Santa's sleigh, filled with presents, all different lovely shapes and sizes, and mine actually looks like a sleigh. I didn't have any reindeer. I was going to make them out of woolen blocks, but I never got around to it. But I might add that for when we actually play the PvP map, so you'll get to see it then. Here's our chest full of presents. Look at them all, and the quarry's actually run out, and all the materials have run out. But that can be easily fixed, so they're pumping out stuff. And now we're going to head to Santa's house, which has changed dramatically. So you can see that I've made it upright. There's no like, well, there's a block missing there, which I didn't notice, but it's completely square this time. It doesn't taper in on the second level, which I thought looked horrible, to be honest. And we've still got the flower pots at the front to break it up. We'll go inside, and there's quite a big difference, I think you'll find. So firstly we head into the kitchen, where I've made a fridge and a cake and a counter, and there's a sink there, a nice oven, and a washing machine over there in that little gap, using different panels, and a lovely table. So that's the kitchen. I struggle to get through the door. And then we head into the living room. So we've got this lovely sofa I made, a nice black wool sofa using different blocks. I think it looks pretty cool. Some paintings on the walls and decorations, and a lovely flat screen TV for Santa to watch when he's chilling out after a long hard day's work. So yeah, up the stairs now to the master bedroom, which looks quite nice, I think. So they've got a nice triple bed for them both to lay in and snuggle up, and a nice snooker table for Santa to play snooker when he's like relaxing. So I think that overall it turned out quite nice, the little touches I added to the inside of the house. So that overall is my entire grotto. So I hope you like our Christmas-y, festive-y stuff so far. We'll be posting a video on how to join us for PvP, probably tomorrow or the day after, with rules and instructions and stuff. So for now, thanks for watching. Bye.